Come along with Michelle and I as we travel from Belgium to Greece, where we soak up the sun, visit ancient ruins, drink lots of wine, and sample all types of tasty treats. Greece is an amazing country, and we took advantage of every minute. After a quick overnight in Athens, we gathered our things and we were off to Onia on the island of Crete, the largest island in Greece, known for its sun-drenched landscapes and its 4,000-year-old Minoan history. First stop, of course, is lunch, where wine is on the menu. Back at the hotel, we squeeze into the tiny elevator and take our chances going up to the third floor. Our room had a modest balcony that overlooked Old Town Onia, with its cobblestone streets filled with happy shoppers. After settling in, we head off to explore our new home for the next 3 nights. Guided by our GPS maps, we head off to the 14th century Venetian harbor. This truly is the crown jewel of the city, filled with delicious-looking restaurants, a great place to people watch or take in a sunset stroll. The Venetian harbor, with its fortified seawall, was originally built between 1320 and 1356 and served as a strategic military and commercial port. Walking along the seawall, portions of the original fortification loom large. I can't imagine what it was like looking out one of these windows and seeing a massive flotilla of your enemy on the horizon. At the end of the seawall stands the Onia Lighthouse. Originally built between 1595 and 1601, it fell into disrepair and was completely rebuilt in 1832 by the Egyptian forces that occupied Crete. After all that exploring, you need to recharge, so we stopped at a great little cafe and had a couple. It was a fun evening, and we were treated to an amazing sunset that evening. Today we hit the high seas, and we board our cruise boat to take us to Gramvousa Island and Balos Lagoon. The blue azure waters of the Mediterranean lapped against the boat as we cruised on towards our first destination, which was Gramvousa. We arrive at the small port for our time to enjoy Gramvousa. The scenery is stunning, and at the top of the highest peak is the castle of Gramvousa. The warm waters of the Mediterranean lap towards the shore, greeted by a pebbly beach. After our time on Gramvousa, we board our boat and we head off to Balos. This is one of the most famous beaches in the world, as at low tide, it is so shallow in the one spot that it almost looks like a little lake. After a day of swimming and sun, we relax as we make our way back to Kissamos Port. Today is tasting day, and our first stop brings us to a 5,000-year-old olive tree that still produces. Here they've set up a tasting room, also a spot where you can purchase gifts. It's time now to leave our first stop and head off to our second. It's a bakery. With a beautiful wood-fired oven, we were able to taste lovely breads. Oh, it was so delicious. Then we hopped next door to the cheese factory, where once again, samples were on the menu. Afterwards, we're taken to a lovely spot where we learn about honeybees and olive trees. This was amazing. We were able to hear about the production of olive oil, and then we're treated to a marvelous tasting, all set up in their olive grove. It's time for all good things to come to an end, so we go on to our next stop, the winery. Yes, we were waiting for this one. We had a lovely tour of the winery, saw the production, and then it was up to the tasting room, where first we were treated to a beautiful view of the olive groves out to the Mediterranean Sea. Then we turned our attention inside to the wine tasting. Back in Anya, we head down to the harbor in search of a restaurant for dinner. How did we have any room left? But as the sun sets, we can't help but notice how beautiful the Anya Lighthouse looks. Today is a traveling day, but first we take one last walk around the old town of Anya. On board our bus, we take the 2-hour coastal drive to Heraclion. The view from our window, the Mediterranean Sea, the beautiful port, it's all breathtaking. Once settled in, we head to the harbor, where the view is dominated by the Coulis Fortress. It was built by the Venetians in the 16th century, and it stands guarding the entrance to the old Venetian harbor of Heraclion. After strolling along the seawall, we had built up an appetite. So a seaside restaurant was just the ticket. Here we enjoyed libations and a seared tuna dinner. Fabulous. Day 2, we start on another tasting tour. Our first stop is a traditional Greek coffee served from an Ottoman pump house where citizens used to come for their water. This coffee had a special way of brewing and you didn't stir it. I'm not much of a coffee drinker, and this was strong. there, we walk through the local street markets where fresh fruit and vegetables abound. Our next stop was a restaurant that specializes in the Greek traditional treat bougatsa. Outside was the lovely Lion's Fountain. As luck would have it, we were the only ones on this tour, so we were able to enjoy everything our lovely guide Maya had to say. Our next stop was a shop where we sampled different cheeses, olives, breads, olive oil, and a dish with grated tomatoes and cheese over large rusks. Our final stop was another feast. At this point, I don't believe stretchy pants are gonna fit. All the tours that we have discussed in this video were booked through Get Your Guide. We highly recommend them, and if you're looking for a tour to whatever destination you're off to, check them out. On our final day in Heraclion, we choose a hop-on, hop-off tour. This is a great way to view the city from the open-air double-decker bus. And we took the bus out to Konos Palace. It was a very unique experience. To imagine that we're walking in the same places people did thousands of years ago. On our final evening, Michelle finds a quaint little restaurant where fish and seafood was top of the line. We totally enjoyed it. And the drinks weren't bad either. Back at the hotel, we were treated to the best sunset, and we now bid farewell to Greece. As we say farewell to Crete and make our way to Venice, with its maze of cobblestone streets, stunning canals, but we were in search of one thing, the Rialto Bridge. This was amazing. I had always wanted to see this bridge, and it didn't disappoint. As we make our way back to our hotel, who can pass up the opportunity for a happy hour? Certainly not us. And it was delicious. But as all good things come to an end, the next day we were off back to Canada. Here, we say goodbye to each other, but not for long. I'm sure we'll meet up again.